Well, welcome along everybody. We are back with ORL Season 9 round number 4, and we are in the Austrian Hills round, what is now known as the Red Bull Ring, used to be the A1 ring, for this high speed, very short lap circuit for round number 4, the first of 2 races this weekend. So we have round number 4 in Austria tonight, and then tomorrow evening we are in I think Brazil? Either Brazil or Spa in the classic McLaren, 1988 McLaren, which should be interesting to see how the field get on with classic cars. But for tonight, we are in the modern cars, and we are going around for round number 4 in Austria. A track I enjoy quite a lot, but genuinely quite an easy track to master compared to a lot on the calendar, so I'd expect a pretty close field round here, and taking nothing for granted. We are currently joint second in the championship then, with Weiser Series, 7 points behind Kausifer in the McLaren, and yeah, I don't think we can expect to be racing those guys or matching those guys on points right up to the end of the season. I think it's luck of the draw at the moment that we're so close to them. But we'll give it our best anyway. If we can be best of the rest, that's generally our aim. I hope everybody's doing okay this evening. But let's get out on track, shall we? Get some track time. See how the car's feeling. And go from there. Now, I did a little bit of setup work.
Right, I'll get these changed.
Most of my preparation for this was actually doing a career mode, which was happened to be Austria right before this. So a lot slower car, but at least some good laps under the belt around the track. So as per usual, we'll just go out for a little sighter run on the soft tyres. We'll then do a run on the super softs, and then another one on the ultras.
Looking like a rubber out on track. Try to take
Before we
it
go
easy
into
on
qualifying, as
the
always, a half-an-hour practice session followed by 15 minutes qualifying and a 50% race. Had a few audio issues recently, so if you guys could just let me know that the balance between the mic and the game audio is okay before we go forward into the race. Much healthier field this time than in Singapore. I think we're up to about 15. Still slightly reduced, I would imagine, because it's a different day on a Saturday, and it's also at the same time as the qualifying. As will the classic race be the same time as the race tomorrow, but as we know, not much we can do about that. Evening Foxworth, how you doing, my friend? Sounding good. Good to hear. Yeah, I had quite a few issues with audios the last few videos. You can thank a Windows update for that. So it should be back to normal now. Fine, good to hear. 7R, welcome to the stream, my friend, as always. Hope you're doing well. That's the wrong gear for that corner. Thank you. I'm hoping we do pretty well. Hoping we get a nice dry race for everybody. There's quite a few people in this field that seem to struggle when the rain comes down, and that's a shame, really, because there's a lot of good races that have been spoiled by the rain. So I'm hoping we'll have a dry weekend. And I'm good, my friend Foxworth. Really good. It's the weekend, isn't it? No more work for now.
Puts us into P6.
Tomorrow's race is looking highly competitive. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched qualifying, Fox, so I don't. I think from if you're referring to what we've seen from practice, because obviously qualifying is going on at the moment, which I'd prefer not to know the result of. If we go from practice alone, Red Bull look very competitive. Ferrari look a little down on pace. So, good chance that Red Bull can challenge Mercedes, especially with Hamilton probably more worried about the title than maybe beating the Red Bulls tomorrow. So, good chance for both of them.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
And Dimitri, welcome to the stream. Leo top. Is there a guy called Leo? There is a guy called Leo. Is that who you want to be first? We'll have a look out. You never know. You never know. Put off by all sorts of things going on there. Let's just back off. You've been watching some of the practice sessions recently. Yeah, practice is always a weird thing. If it's live, I'll watch it if I can. I used to watch every single session, but you kind of know by now that there's so little you can learn from practice, apart from sort of a rough pecking order. FP3 you generally learn the most because of they do a proper qualifying run for the first time of the weekend towards the end of FP3, so you can learn quite a bit from that, but it's fun to watch anyway, a bit more relaxed. If it's on, I'll watch it, but qualifying race calls the main things. Oh, Jeff, mate, how I've not missed you.
Come in this lap, please. Box this lap.
Okay, pretty decent run on the softs. It's a track you really do need the grip of the tyres. It's not too bad on tyre wear here, really. So soft tyres are not really a race tyre. There will be some people that use them for one stop, I'm sure. For me, it's probably more likely to be a 2-stop. A couple of sets of ultras and a set of super softs. So just a little sighter run anyway on the softs. Renault looks like they have a great 18 season with 2 actually good drivers. Yeah. Can you imagine the amount of points they'd have if they'd had science the whole season? They'd be... I don't think they'd quite be on Force India's level, but they'd be well clear of the rest. They've had a pretty good car this year, to be fair. And I would expect to see a good step forward from them next year. Next year is going to be really interesting, I think, with McLaren going to Renault. If Renault make a good improvement in the engine department, I think Red Bull are going to continue to make moves in the chassis department. And I could really see Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull,
So
and
far,
potentially Renault, and potentially Williams with Paddy Lowe in the team, all really closing up to each other. So it's going to be a really, really interesting season next year. That's for sure. I'm sure we'll have some of those discussions. Look out for our brand new podcast with me and Rage next week, by the way. We'll be coming out on the Tuesday, we hope. We'll record it on the Monday. Really excited about that, so keep your eyes out for that anyway. Right, let's have a little look at the weather because we haven't done that yet. Oh, it's going to be wet at the beginning of the race again. What do we have to do to have a dry race in this? Not that I'm complaining really, but still it's a bit annoying for everybody constantly having these wet races. Right, not the best run there. We should be going quite a bit quicker on those soft tyres. But, hey-ho. We'll look for more pace later in the session. It's qualifying in the race that matter, anyway. Or we're just getting our hopes up, and Mercedes will still dominate. Yeah, you never know. We're getting to that point of sort of the engine. Whenever there's a massive rule change, you get to a point where it starts levelling out again because the maximum performance has been reached. And I think Mercedes and Ferrari are getting to that point now. I don't think there's a huge amount they can find. But then the big aerodynamic changes this year, and they might get a bigger handle on them next year, so we'll see. But I just think you're going to see the midfield close up, because at the moment the gap between the front three teams and the rest is huge. I think that really needs to close up to have a competitive formula like we did in, say, 2010. Anyway, 19 minutes left in the session. There's the man himself, the championship leader, Kausfoot. Moving out of the way for his teammate. Great caravan. Great camera view there. Do like a good caravan as well, though. Right, let's go out on some super softs then, get our second run underway. Hopefully find a bit more pace on those. I'd expect the pole times to be down in the 106s. I'm hoping to get into the high 107s at minimum. That's what I would expect in qualifying. From me anyway, and of course we never know what the competition are going to do. It does seem to be the trend that we're better racers than we are qualifiers this season, so won't read too much into the times and we can hopefully have a good race. But I'd like to try and get ourselves towards the top 5 if we can. Now it just makes things a bit easier in the early race.
That's a bit better. Puts you into P4, 4th place.
quite find as much pace as we had. Car's feeling fine around here, but I don't think this is a qualifying setup. Just don't have enough speed really around the medium section corners, but it feels very stable, which is always good for the race.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Okay, it was a bit of a better run. Gives me fairly good confidence that we can get nicely into the 107s on the Ultras. Of course, we'll get a little boost as well in qualifying from the max fuel mode. Of course, as will everybody. But fairly confident we might be able to get into the low 107s then. And to be fair, Calcer and Weiss Sirius, it really wouldn't surprise me if they get into the 105s or something ridiculous. I'd say low 106s minimum. But, those guys have shown themselves to be a real step apart from everybody else so far. I'm fairly happy with that, looking at the guys around us, also on the Super Softs. So, top 5 looking like a possibility at the moment. A couple of guys still to run as well.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 8.5.
So we'll go out for one more run on the Ultra Softs towards the end of the session. So we'll just watch some guys circulate for the moment. Anything you guys want to chat about, just let me know.
Track is pretty empty right now. Lots of space.
So it'd be interesting to see what kind of strategies people employ around here. The two main strategies are completely different. So you have a one-stop where you start on the Ultra Softs, so go onto the Softs for most of the race, just the one stop. And the two-stop, which will be 2 Ultra Softs and a Super Soft set. Much quicker, but of course you have a lot of overtaking to do. And with the race likely to start wet, there's a good chance people will go straight onto the softs after that and try and run till the end. So it'll be an interesting mix of strategies, I'm sure. Don't know how likely we are to have a safety car around here because there's a lot of runoff. Evening Humbrian, how are you doing, my friend? How are you this fine Saturday evening? But then, talking of safety cars, in Singapore, we had a lot of virtuals, but no full safety cars. When I'm sure there are a lot of situations that should have had a safety car. You never quite know with this game how kind it's going to be with them. Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. Hopefully I can put on a good race for you. Or the entire field can put on a good race for us, should we say. Right, let's go and do an ultra soft run then, shall we? A little bit of quali warm up.
All clear the garage, please. Car ready to leave.
Slight difference between a Sunday race and a Saturday race is a Sunday evening I have a beer or two. So how well that's going to pair with racing, I don't know. We're about to find out. I don't think it's like darts where it actually makes you better. So hopefully it's not going to affect us anyway. It's only a beer anyway. I'm sure it'll be fine.
We expect to potentially see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Oi. I knew that was going wrong pretty early, but I also knew that those stupid little bumps were there this year. Launch your car into the air, but fortunately I think we've escaped any kind of lasting damage. Just kept my foot in a little bit too long there. I'll let that go past them. Well, clean up tyres, clean up. Still a little dirty in turn one.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
This lap's a throwaway as well. That's cool. You saw all the gravel that I dragged onto the track there. It's still on the track. Nice little touch. Right, one more. Let's see if we can get a proper time in. Might beat the time a little bit, but that's super soft time, so these tyres are done. Not the ideal preparation for qualifying, but hey ho. Seven seconds quicker than your best. Hey, keep plugging away, Humgren. You never know. As long as you enjoy the game, that's all that matters. No time for a bit of playing the sandpit. Hey, I wanted to just check out. It's like doing a practice start, you know, just getting yourself out of a gravel pit. Just make sure the car's set up correctly. Too much sausage in turn 2, turn 4 was outstanding. Lovely, thank you. Still mucks up the lap, but hey ho. Excuse me. Yeah, the sausage on the outside turn 2 is horrible this year. Same as on the outside of turn 4 as well. Well, I guess it's turn 5 technically.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1.
You have a major issue in Monaco though. What might that be? Alright, let's give you something to watch, shall we? Oh, quick guys, let's watch Calcifer, shall we? You can't turn the hairpin without hitting the wall. No idea what setting to change in the keyboard calibration. What car setup are you using? Are you doing a custom setup, or are you using one of the presets? If you're using one of the presets, you want to use the maximum downforce. Other than that, really just first gear and completely off the throttle. I would have thought even with a keyboard you should be able to get around it, but it'd be one of the sensitivity settings, I think, if it was a setting that changes it. I can't remember what they're called, like saturation and sensitivity, I think, are the two steering setups. That's a nice view game, thanks for that. I guess we're just going to have a black screen for the moment. I think Emilio might have crashed, who was the host. We might have a problem here. We shall see. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I know Emilio just crashed, whether that means we've got to restart the lobby. And that's why we've got a black screen, I don't know. Oh well, at least it wasn't qualifying, I guess. Yep, true. We'll find out at the end of the session. That's what we're doing. This game does like to have its issues. Wouldn't be a Codemasters game if you didn't have bugs online. We're a little bit worried, to be fair, if it was released 1 year and there was no bugs. Wouldn't quite feel the same. Okay, there we go. So it's showing that time as ultra softs. I'm pretty sure that was the time I set on super softs. I might have beat it by like half a hundredth. But should be doing a lot better than that. But looks like a pretty competitive field anyway. So we shall get on to qualifying and see how we all go. Okie doke. Just double check the setup's right. And we shall go out for our first run.
Engine fired. We're set.
Straight out on track behind our old rival Melee. Some great races in Canada and Singapore with him. Hopefully we can have some more today. Oh, a little dodgy on exit on the final corner. Hopefully Charlie Whiting's not watching. But hey, look, it's the age-old discussion. Going wide, can you really be quicker? Yeah, probably. But a bit better the second time round. Still a little bit off where I feel we should be. Great lap from Melee, by the way. Be interesting to see if Councillor's put in a proper representative time at the moment, because Melee currently ahead of Councillor, which is a major scout for him. No lasting advantage gain, just a couple of attempts. Hey, as we saw from last weekend with Verstappen, it's only when you cut the corner on the inside that they really care. On the outside, do what you like. Anyway, a bit better. Slight hope of maybe getting into the 106s, but it's not really the pace that I normally show on this track. I only barely get into 106s on time trial, but we'll see. A good first run anyway. Need to put a little bit less fuel in, we had far too much in to begin with. That's why we kept getting quicker and quicker. By which time we'd obviously lost some of the ultimate grip from those ultra softs. So, take a bit of fuel out, stick another set on. You can see a 16.9, 17.0 once you clean up a little. I'm hoping so too. If I can sneak into the 16s, I'll be happy. So qualifying.
So far is a 1 minute 7.3.
Great, Jeff. Cheers, mate. Qualifying's not really our strong suit, so find a little bit of improvement, I'll be happy. Alright, take some fuel out. Got about another minute before we absolutely have to go out. Let's take a look at the times then. So yeah, great lap from Melee, right up there today. Still some people to fire in times. I expect Show to be right up there. So I'm sure Show will put in a lap. Leo and Macy, I'm unsure about pace. Right up there with our teammate though, Mayhew, who missed the last race, so we need some good Williams points this time. So good to see him up there. So sector 2 we're losing quite a lot of time. Final sector we're pretty much on the money. First sector we're losing quite a bit as well. Actually, no, I was reading someone else's times. Find a bit in every sector really, but final sector there should be a couple of temps somewhere. Right, out we go again then.
All personnel be aware, car leaving.
Hopefully have time to do 2 flying laps. Might be cutting it a bit fine to do 2 though, to be fair. 3 minutes, no, we should be okay.
Someone's just posted a faster time. You've been dropped to the 4th row. P7.
Oh, we just about got there. We lost a couple of attempts in the final sector. Or the final corner. A couple of corners even. Just a little bit smoother in that middle section. And that's where the time came. Everybody's across the line then. I think that's looking like it then. So Weiss Series takes a second pole in the row then. With 106.0. 2 attempts ahead of Kausfer. Third is Millet on 106.5. 106.8 for show. We're in 5th with a 106.9. Just a tenth. We lost that tenth in the final corner. Or the final couple of corners. But still pretty happy with 5th. Our teammate Mayhew a couple of attempts down. We're 107.1 in 6th. Barney 107.1 in 7th. Hackey, first time in the league. First race. A very respectable 8th for 107.2. Macy 107.4. Toffee 107.4. Also 107.8 for like wildfire. And then Weebies will be 6. Emilio Sachs and Leo. Round out 15 starters then. And one thing about Austria, because it's such a short track, it's a little bit easier to master, and it's obviously a shorter lap time, so you get a much smaller spread of times, whereas some points this season we've had sort of 4 or 5 seconds between first and last, just 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds between the field here, so a lot closer, and I'm sure that's going to make the racing an awful lot more exciting as well. Okay, fairly happy with that. Fairly happy to be in that top 5. I didn't think, for a while, I didn't think we were going to be. But we found that little bit of extra time when it mattered in qualifying. And you were bang on, Humbrian. 16.9 indeed. We just cleaned up that middle sector and we were there. Well, there is that rain then that I'm sure a lot of people didn't want to see. But we've got it for about the 3rd race in a row. we have a smattering of rain, so this will make things interesting off the line. And I'm sure most people with dry setups as well. It does look like it's going to dry out pretty quickly, and for the rest of the race it will be dry, so it's got to try and get through these opening few laps in these conditions without too much trouble.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
I'm going to make one stop, switch to super softs. Depends what the rain does, to be fair. R7 super softs I know can probably do 14-15 laps at least, so it depends how deep this rain goes really. I think the one stop is probably going to be the most likely. Even if it's pretty early, you could go onto the softs till the end, but whether you'd be quick enough, I don't know. We'll have to read that. A little bit of trouble behind on formation lap. 2 disqualifications, this might be a restart. Some kind of bug, I guess. Yeah, that just disqualifies them from the formation lap, doesn't it? If it was just an issue with that. Thanks, Umbrian. I'll try and have a good one. Don't think we're restarting as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's just Weebies and Will be 6. Got disqualified from the formation lap for having contact, basically.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Okay. Good luck to all. I hope you guys enjoy this race. And let's hope we can get through these opening laps without too much trouble. Braking from relay there.
Be easy on the car till we get it repaired. We don't want to risk making this worse. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
No grip at all. It's not a great start. Have some fighting back to do today. We just need to try and get into a groove. It's a lot less grip than I was expecting.
Fuel target +1. It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet. Seconds.
Alright, it's nearly time then for dries. I'm thinking super softs then ultras. I don't think it's worth doing a one stop. You could do it on the softs at this point, but you're going to be so slow towards the end of the race. a shame really, because we've just found our groove on these tyres now. I'm sure the track is ready. No, not yet, but I mean it's getting there. I mean there's no way we're going to be able to take the super softs to the end, put it that way. It's going to be lap 10 at the latest. I think it's ready now though. Oh, that was the most difficult thing I've done in a long, long time. I'm still not sure, I'll be honest, it's completely ready. I'm willing to give it a clutch. Willing to give it a go. We recovered, that was the main thing.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
Right over on that crossover point. If we can get them working though, it'll be golden.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Okay, we haven't lost too much time then.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.6 seconds.
And we've got a lap more experience on these tyres than these guys coming out. Trying to make up some time now. A big spread of strategies though. All three tyres being shown around us. Who will get it right, I don't know.
This lap of the race. Keep this up.
You should and stick with guys ahead on ultras. Well, yeah, the thing is with the ultras, they barely do 10 laps without losing a lot of grip. So they're not going to be able to do double ultras. If they do, they'll have no grip by the end of the race. So if we're just patient here on the super softs, and then we'll either be against them on aging ultras at the end, or we'll be on ultras, really fresh ultras, when they're on super softs. So it will all come back to us, R7, don't worry. I don't think we can get a podium though, because Miele's, I think, in third and he's a long way off. But fourth is the target now. We can outrace these two guys ahead on strategy. Miele's behind you, I believe. Don't know who it is in third then. I thought Barney was P4. Maybe he is P3. Oh, it was hacky on those soft tyres. Unfortunately spun. Going for that one-stop strategy. Unlucky, buddy. Doing a great job for his first race then.
The gap to the car ahead
So yeah, Barney must be P3.
5 seconds. Our gap to our teammate is 3.6.
All Barney's the one just ahead of Show. They were fourth and fifth. Puts the podium back on the table then.
seconds. 7.2 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 se
Right, I'd like that gap to start coming back in again a little bit now ahead. They are fighting as well. Opens the door. And there is Barney straight ahead on the soft, so I presume Barney is trying to go till the end on those tyres. May have resulted in a desperation for shows to get past him. And you need to do the same. Yeah, that grip is starting to go from these now. Just gonna have to watch it. I don't think I lost the position, gained it back. I think that was just the Codemaster's timing screen, as per usual, mucking up. Actually, yeah, we have now gone back to 6th. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. I don't know if we are 6th or 5th. Doesn't change how we approach the race anyway. Just drive as quickly as you can. Showing Hacky ahead of us again now. I really have no idea. There is Hacky apparently in 5th.
We advise moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Showing 14th, so yeah, we are 5th. Don't panic just yet. Trying to push a little bit too hard on these tyres now. They just don't have the grip. Well, it's me hoping they have more grip, but they don't.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the ultra softs.
It's like the ultra softs are holding up a lot better than they did when I did any of my practice races.
Okay,
from the guys ahead.
Teammate, 5.4 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 5.7 seconds.
really didn't think we could do 2 ultra softs, but looks like it might have been possible. Well, still a long way to go, you never know.
Is 43.2 seconds. Is now open.
We've either picked the wrong strategy or we're just not as quick as we thought we were today. Or as we'd hoped. The really shocking thing has been Barney's pace ahead. The fact we can't close him down when he's on soft tyres leads me to suggest he's probably picked the best strategy here. Just doing a one-stop on the softs. If he can manage it, all power to him. Right, I think we're going to go sooner or later to cover off Mayhew and see if we can get the undercut on people. "13 laps should be okay on the ultras."
Release.
We really need to hit it hard now to try and get back into this race for the podium.
After these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, clear.
Thanks, Wildfire. What ended your race? You're in the chat then. Sorry to hear that. I think we had some good battles early on, so that was a pleasure. And oh shit, shame you're not in the race anymore. Right, Will Be 6 is a real threat at the moment. find some pace here.
Our gap to the car in front is 13.6 seconds. So the gap to our teammate is 11.4 seconds.
One swerve move on me got me giggling. It was good fun. I'm surprised we all came out of that okay, to be fair. Or will we six be sixth? Let's hope so, Fox. He does seem an awful lot quicker than me at the moment. This car feels completely different from qualifying. It's understeering everywhere. And yes, I know it's got fuel in, but it does not feel right. Hey, what can we do? We've got Barney just up ahead, so this race isn't over for 4th yet. Don't know that I've got enough pace to catch him, mate. Let alone hold off B6. bumps, Jesus.
Is 3.0 seconds.
Oh, he's done the bumper car trick like I did. Still hanging on the DRS just, but he's got too much pace for us, unfortunately. And we're going to have to turn the engine down at some point. Hideous understeer in that middle section. That's what's killing us.
Let's get back up to racing speed. To
be fair, these tyres are pretty dead already.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
I'm going to have to turn the engine down now as well.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
Oh, we're beyond that point, Jeff. Through the looking glass now, my friend.
To teammate is 7.7 seconds.
Keep pushing him. We've got Macy coming up behind. This will be a very close finish. We pitted a lap apart, me and Wilt, and Macy obviously on the more durable super softs. I would expect to be a little bit quicker towards the end, so this is all going to close up again. That middle sector, just not enough grip. kids why we don't go into third around that corner. I'm trying, Panther. It's got a little bit too much for me. Little mistake starting to creep in now. I don't think there's anything we can do on the last lap unless he makes a mistake.
This is your final lap of the race. Target behind is 3.1 seconds.
Exactly what I didn't want to happen. I don't want to risk 5th or 6th now. Okay, let's bring it home. I haven't got any more in the tank. Tyres went a long time ago. Something about this race today just hasn't sat with us. Not that 6th is to be shunned, of course, but we should have done a lot better. Well, it's some points. Some points on the board. That's all we can really take from that. Just hideous understeer in the middle sector. Our start really didn't help. We were down to 11th, I think, at one point. So there's an element of recovery there that I'm happy with. I can see them on their way
out to the podium now. Force India have really come a long, long way in this sport. And what a special race this was, to see them earn that top spot.
Congratulations to Oyster Sirius, taking a great win, 2nd in a row, and he is now going to be level on points with Gauster at the top of the championship. So real title battle hotting up. Show takes 3rd. Congratulations to him, and Force India are going to be very strong in the constructors now. 6th is not too bad. You can see by our lap times there, something was off. It's our consistency that got us 6th, but it should be a lot quicker than that. The fact I couldn't even get into the 108s with a fresh set of ultras on was very bizarre, but hey, happy with 6th. He certainly was there. He's certainly getting better and better as it goes on, and he's definitely giving Calcifer a run for his money now. So congratulations to them. Great 4th place for Barney, and podium for Show. Will be 6. You definitely had a great race there from 13th to 5th and outraced me there. Not much I could do. Macy a great 7th. Our teammate Mayfew comes home in 8th, Melee in 9th, Wibbies in 10th, Toffee 11th, Leo 12th. Actually with a DNF, same as Hacky, Emilio Sachs. And someone dropped out. I presume that was you, like wildfire. But anyway, I enjoyed that race anyway, despite the problems. But yeah, it's always disappointing when you know you could have done more. But I say something just didn't feel right with the car there. It sounds like such a racing driver excuse, doesn't it? Well, the car, just a completely different car. They obviously fucked something up between qualifying and the race. So it was a completely different car to the one I drove in qualifying. But it's true. It's true. There's something weird in that race. But hey, it's a good bunch of points. You can find the current league table in the description. That won't be updated till about Wednesday for this race. But you can kind of work out the points. We finished ahead of Melee, which means I don't think Show was on enough points, so I think we should still be 3rd, thankfully. And that's really my aim. I don't think Kalstra and West Series we can really compete with. If we can take 3rd in Championship, I'll be really happy, to be fair. But it's a good race anyway. A little bit of a shorter one than usual, because Austria is quite a short track. So if anyone wants to have a little chat about the race or anything other than the qualifying, because I haven't watched it yet, then you're welcome to. We'll do that for the next 5 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap up the stream for this evening. We will of course be back tomorrow with another league race, and it's going to be the first of 2 classic car races. So they will count towards the Drivers' Championship, but not the Constructors. We'll be going round. I'm going to check now. I think it's Brazil, but I need to check that. I can't really do that while I'm in this chat anyway. But hey, it's a good race anyway. And yeah, we'll have a classic race tomorrow. It's the Ayrton Senna Cup. 98 McLaren's around. I'm pretty sure Brazil. See you, Foxworth. Thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for all your thanks. It was a good race anyway, but I feel we should have got more out of it. But hey, there's always tomorrow. Ohio Goemasu Sirona. Guess mine for that one, Umbrin. Right, if there's no more questions or chat to be had, then I think we shall call that for this evening. Thank you, everybody, as always, for tuning in. And it will be 7:30 British time, British summer time. Actually, no, it's back to GMT next week, tomorrow, because the clocks go back tonight. So, not that really makes any difference for anybody in England. But 7:30 GMT tomorrow will be the start time. So please do tune in for some classics. Should be pretty interesting to see how the order changes, or maybe not, when we jump into some old classic cars. Very different to drive, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. So yes, thank you, everybody. And I'm sorry that today and tomorrow the races are in the middle of the F1. That should be rectify itself the week after, when of course we've got no race, and then you won't be forced to choose between the two. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, you make it worth it, as always. And as always, I really need to stop saying that. They say never repeat yourself with these types of things. As always, thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.